beautiful people all around the world. How are you doing today? This is your host, Rube, and today I am going to talk about the importance of transitioning and how to sustain healing while you're transitioning, while you're on the road of recovery, when you're coming out of the brokenness. I will be sharing a little bit about my own story, how hard it was for me to come out of the broken place, come out of the abusive relationship. The hardest challenge came when I started my journey, the road of recovery to discovering myself. So I will be talking about all those things. I hope you're doing well with the COVID-19 going around. I hope you're safe in your houses and you are doing isolation thingy. So whenever we get stuck by trauma, you don't plan for that season, right? You don't plan that you are going to be in the place of brokenness. You're not prepared for that. It just comes on you. That challenge comes on you, and you have never thought of it. You never thought that somebody can deceive you, or someone can cheat you, or someone can physically, mentally, emotionally abuse you. It just comes on. It's almost like David and Goliath. When David was going to see his brothers, he was hoping to see and have a bit of good time with his brothers, but all of a sudden he faced the Goliath. So he didn't plan that battle. But I want to encourage you that if you are in that battle, right? If you are going on the road of your recovery, you are going to see that Goliath falling down. I am talking from my own personal experiences. So I was in this relationship for a very long time. I was just pretty much grown up with the person I was with, and there was a physical, mental, emotional control. And because I was so young and tender, I didn't know it was a control. I had no idea. It was always conveyed to me that it's your fault, you're good for nothing, you can never survive in this world on your own. So I believed. I just want to bring that thing in your notice, that when people are speaking so much lies, so much negative in your life, and you're believing on those lies, they become your reality, and they started defining you rather than you defining yourself. Somebody else is trying to enjoy your life, the gift of life. I always say that this gift is for me. It's a personal gift. My life is a gift from God to me. I should be the one enjoying it. I should be the one living in His fullness. Other people can be a part of it, but they cannot steal this gift. So when I decided to say no, when I put my step down that I will no longer be tolerating physical, mental, emotional abuse, it was hard for me because I was deeply in love with this person. It was so hard for me. Now, if you have stepped out of that broken relationship or the place where you were so comfortable, I am gonna applaud for you, because it requires a lot of courage, all the courage you have earned throughout your life. It requires all of that for you to be bold enough in order to step out of that place when you are saying no to injustice, when you are saying no, I am not going to be a part of these lies anymore. I am going to rediscover myself. So it was really, really hard for me. So when I left that relationship, that wasn't even the challenge. The hardest part came when I started walking on my own in this world, when I was so afraid that I'm gonna survive without having him around me, I'm gonna survive on my own, because the lies were so dominating my brain that you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. So I would spend hours crying and trying to figure out myself, like, what I'm gonna do. I am nothing without this person. See how I was speaking the same word, I was repeating the same words the other person was speaking over my life. And because I believed on those things and they became my reality. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I'm not strong enough to live in this world, whereas the reality was that I was everything God created me to be. I was every single thing. I was equipped, I was stronger, I was healthy, I was pretty, I had everything. I was given all those equipment. I just didn't know that I had those tools. I just didn't know that I had tools. So God strategically put people in my life, and they helped me to discover myself. I was coming out of the place of real vulnerability, where I would question everything I would do. Am I doing right? Because I used to seek another person's opinion to make choices, to make decisions, and now I had to do it on my own. So I sat down with myself and I said to myself, you know, this is the reality, that you are on your own. Now you have to face this. So what I decided, I started making some short-term goals, achievable goals. So every time I achieved a single goal, I would applaud myself. I would say, well done, girl, you have done it. I didn't even know how to pay my rent. So first time I paid my rent, I was like, hey, well done, you made it. You know, first time I'm driving around on my own, I'm like, oh my gosh, you can do it, girl, you're so stronger. First time when I went from size 10 to 8, I bought myself a new dress. I appreciated myself. I said, oh my gosh, girl, you're nailing it, you're killing it. You are becoming stronger. And I never knew about my strengths. I never knew that I can do exactly everything what the other person was doing for me, because I was always told that you're not good enough, and I sort of believed in it. And then one day the revelation came to me, and it was like this, that my parents made love. I was created with the beauty, love, and passion. They were passionate, they are passionate towards each other. That's how I was created, out of love. If someone is going to tell me, I was screamed over me. I was told that you're a mistake, you're a mistake, you're a mistake. I was loudly told by other people that you are the biggest mistake. And I believed, and that's how I was like living in this fear. Okay, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. But the minute I realized, no, I'm not a mistake, but I'm created, I am a product of love. Two people made love. That's how I was created. I'm not going to take it if someone is going to call me mistake. I am not. I'm a purpose of God. I am here for this world to serve my purpose. I am a gift to this world. And a lot of the time when people are speaking negative, you believe in those negative words. You believe on those lies, and you say, oh, maybe this is true. This is not true about yourself. Do not buy that lie. Do not let that lie become your identity. Your identity is that you are created with love. You're created with passion. You're created with beauty. You know, God created man and he said, it is beautiful. You are beautiful. You're my image bearer. How can you be a mistake? No, you are a gift to this world. So I took time to discover my purpose for my life, like what I want to do it. I took myself to the place when I was all alone, when I was growing up, a young little girl, and I had dreams, I had ambitions. So I sat down with myself with the pen and paper, and I wrote down all those things. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I wrote in my journal, and it was so hard. I had a day when I felt like I was really positive. Then I had a days when I would feel like I'm so crippled by the memories of being with another person. Now the people can have many layers. I'm not gonna label someone. I'm not gonna tag that the person who abused me was always abuser. No, he had many layers. He was compassionate, he was gentle, he was loving, he was caring. Apart from being violent, when he would have a rage of anger, he didn't know how to help himself. So when I would remember the good part of it, good part of that relationship, good part of the memories, I would miss my best friend. I would miss that guy so much, because I loved him more than I love myself. So I lived in denial for a very long time, where I would say, maybe it's a dream. It's a dream. I'm gonna wake up out of this dream, and the things are going to be so good. was better, again back to normal. But my normal was me being somebody who doesn't know anything, who is unable to survive in this world, who is not good enough to fit in this world. That was my normal thing before I came out. I needed a constant reminder that no, you are everything you're created to be. You can be a weightlifter, you can be a prime minister, you can sing, you can dance, you can paint, you can do everything. You can change the wheel of your car, you can change the tire, you can do all those things, because you have given similar amount of brain, you have given 2 legs, 2 arms, everything like the other person. If someone is thinking they are better than you, they are lying, because it's so damaging when one person says I am better than you. You are equal in this relationship. It shouldn't be so hard to say sorry to each other. It should not be so hard to humble ourselves before each other. It should not be so hard to take accountability of our own actions. Men and women, they both are designed to fit each other's needs. You cannot fight aimless battle. You need to have someone to fight for. So that's how they are designed to be with each other. So the woman was created from Adam's rib, right? So she wasn't created from feet. She wasn't created from anybody else. She was taken from the part which was close to the heart, and God called her, she's your helper. She is the person where man comes and reveals his heart to her. She's the first one he comes in contact and the man comes on and tells his wife, this is what I'm going through, and she sort of comes up with the idea, and they both figure it out how they're gonna do the problem solving. That's how we both are created, men and women, to fit each other's need. We should not, neither man nor woman should treat each other like you are not equal to me, you are somebody who is lower than me, you are here to serve. We are not here to serve each other. We are here to be a part of each other's life, a vital part of each other's life, to prosper together, to achieve our dreams and visions together, This is how the love relationship works, and you cultivate your love relationship together. But when there is hurdles like you are lower than me, I can treat you, I own you, I can treat you the way I want, that's messed up relationship. That's not love, that's control. That means you need a slave, you don't need a person to be with. So my journey, the days were like I would lay on my carpet, I would cry day and night. I would say, I want to go back. Some days I literally took the elevator from my apartment. I went downstairs. I was literally having a car key in my hand, that I'm going to go back to this person I was in so much love with, back again. The minute I was going to open my car, start the ignition, I had this question came up in my head. If I'm doing that, I'm taking that opportunity to rediscover myself. I'm taking opportunity, I'm stealing that opportunity from myself to be stronger, to move into my full potential, to discover my potential. And I'm also gonna steal that opportunity from the other person to be better, to be to reflect on his life. If I'm going back to him, he's gonna say, ha ha ha, you couldn't survive in this world, so here you come back, now I can treat you the way I want. So I'm stealing away the opportunity from both of us. Yes, I love him so much. Yes, I wanted to be with him, but not on the cost of my life and respect and integrity I was carrying. I learned in a hard way that my life is a gift to me. I learned in a hard way that although I didn't have a roof over my head, but there was always, because I had a willing heart, there was always room available for me. There was opportunities available for me to rediscover myself, to be better in what I was doing. I want to encourage you, if you have stepped out of the place of brokenness and you are transitioning, I'm not gonna lie to you that it's gonna be easy. It's gonna require every single thing. It required me my brand new house. It required me all the dresses, all the possession I owned in that house, a beautiful canvas, all the nice lovely paintings, the beautiful diaries full of stories, my walk-in cupboard, my own space, the things I created, and mostly the man I loved more than my own life. It cost me everything, but I would have never been a person who is sitting here and talking to you if I wouldn't have made that decision. So if you are in the process of making a decision to leave an abusive relationship, I know you can do it. And one day you are going to sit on the firm place like I am, and your story will be changing someone's life. You know what? My biggest achievement is when all the girls, they come to me and they say how my story has impacted their life, how they can relate to it, and how it has empowered them. That's my achievement, because I want to see every single man and woman walking in their full potential, living a life full of love, full of glory, full of respect, So this is what my vision is, to see a community free from domestic violence, free from any kind of abuse. And the transition process is going to be hard, my dear. You feel like you're gonna run back to him. You feel like you're gonna run back to her. I am not targeting only women here. I am also talking about men. I think 40% men are getting abused and they go through domestic violence too. So it's a vice versa. It can happen to anybody. Domestic violence doesn't discriminate your gender. It does not discriminate your gender. It's like this monster which is trying to sweep over our communities. I was blessed that I didn't have kids because I was very, very young. So I didn't have kids. But imagine if I had kids, I probably would have stayed in that relationship because I wanted my kids to have a father. I would hate to see any child growing up without having a father in their life. But again, I wanted to give them a safest environment where they can grow. My ex-partner, he came from a place where his father wasn't a good father, and he said, I would never be like my father. But often I've seen when people make this kind of commitment that I'm never going to be like my father, I'm never going to treat my partner the way my dad treated my mother, they're the one who becomes most controlling people. Why? Because they are trying to be overprotective. They're trying to control everything. That, okay, I'm going to be perfect, I am going to do everything in a perfect way, and they don't realize how and when they start controlling other person's life. Although they can love you so much, I'm not saying people are bad. I'm not saying my ex was bad. I wish him the world still. I pray that he discovered himself the way I did. I pray every single blessing for his life. I'm not saying he's a bad person. He gave me the best life other than being like violent towards me. I had a really, really good time where we both laughed, where we both did things together, so much to cherish. But I also wanted him to acknowledge that the control was hurting me. That the control was hurting me. That every time he was displaying his anger on me, it was hurting me. It was hurting me physically. It was hurting me mentally. It was tormenting, and I was sort of doubting my love relationship. That how can you say I love you from the same mouth, and the one you're using to abuse me? So the transition can be hard, and the memories can haunt you. But I learned to navigate my mind from the negative thoughts to the positive one. there was a time when I was struggling. I was struggling with societal ideation, societal thoughts where I wanted to end my life. So I had so much willingness to change and to be better. So I came up with my own safety plan. I decided I am going to date myself. I'm going to take myself out. I'm not going to isolate myself in one room and keep thinking about it. That's probably some of you guys need to do it. Just take yourself out there, surround yourself with people where more people are, and treat yourself well. Buy yourself a dress, buy yourself a pair of high heels and dark lipsticks and stuff like that, because you're worth it. And remind yourself that how beautiful you are, and cancel those words from your life when people came up and they told you, hey, you're not good enough, you're the biggest mistake of my life. That's not true. You are the gift. You know, I one day posted a video. When rejection hits you, you need to remind all the good qualities. Jot down five qualities and write 5 qualities on a piece of paper, and like say, I would write about myself: I'm beautiful, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am honest, and I am creative. So when someone is rejecting you, they're rejecting a beautiful, smart, humble, honest, and a creative person. So they are not rejecting me, they're rejecting all of those 5 things I listed. So it's not my loss. I'm still gonna look forward for the greater things to come in my life. You know, I learned to keep my gaze on God, that you know what, I don't see the physical breakthrough. Although I have grown so much in my own personal strength, I lost 13 kilo. I have discovered myself like never before. I started paintings, I started writing poems and stories, and I have a career, and I'm doing a lot of filming and things like that. And in coming days, I'm going to write a book, and my documentary is coming out. Those things I discovered because I had a willingness to get transformed, and I knew the process of transition. When I stepped into it, I knew it's gonna be hard, I knew it's gonna cost everything, but it was so worth it. If I look back, I look at myself, I say, damn girl, where were you before? It's only been like I believe 18 months since I came out of the abusive relationship, but it feels like so long. It feels the discovery of myself. I almost feel like that part of me I didn't even know. And the most important thing, you need to forgive that person, and you need to forgive yourself. That's the vital part to sustain that healing. I used to have a days when I would wake up, I say, God, he treated me so bad, you know, I am like so offended, step in and do something with him. But you know, that's not how it works. Other person is not sitting there to see you whinging. I know you're hurting. I know whatever happened to you wasn't something nice. It wasn't you desired. It wasn't you expected. No, you did not expected that. It just came on you. That night just came on me. I just finished my work, came home. I didn't know that that would be my last few hours in my house. I wasn't prepared for that. Not at all. It just came on me. The minute I saw that big Goliath before me, I just had to shift my attention from my problem to my strength, that okay, I need to be strong enough to go through this. It's gonna cost me everything. It's gonna cost me all my strength, all my emotions, everything. But I'm still gonna walk. I'm still gonna walk. I'm gonna continue to walk until I'm strong enough, until I am able to look into the mirror and I can say, girl, well done. And I am so proud of this thing, that today I can look into the mirror and I can say, girl, well done. There is still scars. The scars are still there, my friends. But those scars are representing my stories, the story of my victory. That although it was so hard, It was so hard for me to imagine my life without the man, the only man I ever loved, the first guy I ever dated, the guy I wanted to see my life with, wasn't there for me. And there were so many more challenges came in that journey. Like I was stalked because I was vulnerable, I was afraid, and other people can, when you're so afraid, they can see your vulnerability. Not everybody is going to be the part of your story, let me tell you. When you're hurting, you try to tell your story everybody. You feel like if this wall is a person, I'm going to tell my story to this wall. But let me tell you, pick 3 or 4 good people you trust the most. Only share your vulnerable side with them. And you can share like I'm sitting today, sharing with the world, because I am on the place of where it doesn't affect me anymore. I have grown in wisdom. I have grown in strength that nobody can sort of take advantage of me. But there was a time when I was so vulnerable, I didn't know how to navigate my mind. So I got stalked. There were other things happened to me. But in the middle of that, I held on to God. I held on to His strength. And I said, I know I can't see the physical breakthrough in my life, but I know your faithfulness. I know you're a good God. And I remember all the little victories, all the little goals, teeny weeny goals I achieved in my journey, and I started giving Him thanks. I started being thankful, and I forgave myself. I forgave myself for being so brutal. I forgave myself for believing into the lies. I forgave myself for not believing in me. And I forgave the other person too, because I wanted to move on. I did not want to move on with the name tag that I was a mistake. I wanted to move on, that I am everything God has created me to be. That's how I survived that transition. And I'm still transitioning, and I want you to come along and let's walk this walk together. I hope this video will help you to stay strong. And again, I'm saying you're so brave if you have stepped out of the broken place, out of the abusive relationship. Just applause for yourself before anybody else does. You need to appreciate yourself. You need to applaud yourself. And I can't wait to see you standing on the firm place where the world is looking at your eyes, where the world is so eagerly waiting for you to share your story. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye for now.